Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to announce that, basically, I want to make a point. I noticed something, and I'm gonna explain something to you, and I think this is actually how, like, this is as baseline as you can get. This is as fundamental as you can get. There is nothing more stupid. There's nothing more on the face. There's nothing. You can't go more basic than this. This is how the world works. Basically, there is a truth. Hold on. Actually, let's just see if I can do this. I know what I'll do. Paint. Oh shit. Paint. Okay, so we got paint. Paint. I go to my desktop. Okay. Oh shit. Paint. There's the truth, right? And basically, it's going, and it doesn't matter where. Here's like God, here's Christianity, here's the U.S. and whatever. Like America booming, and here's China doing this thing, whatever. Right? There's a line, okay? And it's just doing whatever the hell it's doing, okay? And what I mean is lies, truth, deceit, influence, lying more. So it rises and falls, and this is why most systems will fall back to a model. Like when it comes to money, yeah, they follow money, the trend, like, oh, we're making more money. The reason why a line going up is good is because you're getting more, but the reason why is because you're getting more influence and getting more power, right? And that's basically, you need to understand that because that's all tied to this. And basically, the truth comes up. Okay. And it stops. The reason why it stops is because you have to make a decision. Buy the Trump coin because it'll make a lot of money. What a lot of people will do is they're like, okay, I'm gonna buy the Trump coin, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna make a lot of money. And it's I should actually rephrase that. It's an investment, so it's technically backwards because they went backwards, right? They lost money, so they lost power, they lost influence, whatever. They lost money, and what happened was disappeared. Suddenly, it doesn't matter anymore. Guess what? You're still here, right? You're still here, unless you're somebody that has a good source of income and you have disposable money, and no matter what, you still have money. And what's it called? Let's say you make $50,000, right? And you gain 45,000, so you go up, and then 5,000 of it you put to the side, and it technically puts you back, right? You still go down, but my point is you still go up because you next paycheck you have $50,000 again. You know what I'm saying? So you're still up there and you're still acquiring, so you can take risks. And this is why most Americans live paycheck to paycheck right now, is because they want to take away your ability to change the game, to influence the needle, and to choose the direction, right? They want to dictate the narration. Back then, America was unfounded. America was just like it was going. Trump coin was influenced, but America pushed through because they found out, they realized, and they woke up and blah blah, and they stopped, right? But nowadays, it's like, oh, Trump coin, and they make it seem like you have to, and they make it to where you have to, so the nation falls, and that's what's going on now. Is just a bunch of like authoritarianistic information that's not good and it destroys the system. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say is your line goes, okay, you have a decision to make. Should you do this or should you do that? And by the way, I shouldn't do that. I should do this, right? Because you're making money. Because it's going up. Should you do this? Should you do that? And if someone lies, cheat, or steals, or like if you put time into a man or into a woman and she leads you on, and then one day bails on, like it could be this, and one day bails on you, then all of it's gone. They took it and ran, and you're down here, right? So it's boom. Let me rephrase this. Let me start here. Let me just. So you go boom, like I met a girl, life was great, and then boom, right? Like what happens in reality is it'll go boom, and then you reset down to your baseline. But because you're so used to being up here, and this is what addiction is, drugs, they get you high. But your normal is here, but you're operating here because of the drugs, right? And so it happens, you get high, you're up here, and the drugs disappear, and you want to be up here again. And so you get high, that's what they call it, getting high, right? It's because you're literally raising your value, you're raising your self esteem, you're raising your influence, and blah, blah, blah. It's not real, but you buy it. And for the record, just like with language and things, an idea, a concept, is not real. Money isn't real, but we give it value. We give it as a culture, as a society. Like if we go to Africa, $100 in America, like in the jungle, you know what I'm saying? $100 ain't gonna do it. $1 million, you can have $1 million in a suitcase right next to you. You're not gonna be saved. I mean, today, like you can pay somebody on your cell phone from a satellite, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, if you're on an island with only $1 million, you would be fucked, right? But if you had $1 million worth of stuff, that would be different. In America back then, it was about that stuff. Nowadays, the whole world is more about basically the influence and being high, right? And having that car, having this, and this is what the ego is, and why the ego is bad, and why I don't have one. And I will explain it in another idea, maybe one day in the future, about why that was a bad thing, right? Why having no ego, why my parents were terrible, and how that ruined me and ruined my life, and how I took no action because of it. Um, but anyways, I actually have no ego. But if I did, it would be good, right? And that's what you're seeing now. Is that now I have the sense of value, the sense of wealth, the sense of power, the sense of self, right? And so I can put myself forward, and I have wisdom from living in my nothingness for so long, right? It was like being held down, and while it's being held down, it wants to go up, right? And just like when you go in the ocean and you go deeper and deeper and deeper, the pressure builds to eventually, like the submersible crushes, or or it shoots up, right? It'll shoot up, and then next thing it's way the fuck up there. And that's what they do. Is like a popular singer, like a kid, 5-year-old kid, a good singer. They'll way up here. The market will come in here, and then they'll benefit market the kid, and then the kid will plateau and then start to fall. And then when it starts to fall, the second he starts to fall, they sell. But the second they make the money, and then you pick it up, and then you buy this kid, but now his values, you know what I'm saying? But this is America. What it does is it buys this from you. It buys this from your neighbor for any power influence. They buy that influence, that power that you're getting, or your popular streamer. You have 1,000 viewers, or you get 1,000 views, right? And this influence from that's what they're buying, is that power. The second it's gone, they dump you, right? This is why relationships are so bad, and why divorce rates are so high and whatnot, because everyone is doing this. This is what makeup is, and why I don't like makeup is you're pretending to be something you're not. Someday I'm gonna find out, and then that day comes, I may want a divorce. You know what I'm saying? I got with you because I thought you liked basketball, but turns out you only like basketball because you wanted to get in my pants. And now you got my pants, and now you don't want to play basketball anymore. You expect me to still love you, even though I loved you because you like basketball, but you don't like basketball? Like, that's what's going on, right? So, anyways, I'm trying to tell you is that's kind of what the game is, right? It's all about that line and fake because people can't be real like myself. There's fakers and liars and pretenders that get high, or they'll take pills, or they'll take medication, or if you listen to them, they do this, then they swallow and they and just the constant and they have these things like I will say too. Sometimes the can be excused because sometimes people need more water, and for sure that can be a thing. But a lot of the time, these people have good lives, and they have good diets, and they have good intake, and they still do it. That's because they're high, right? And that's what's going on is you're buying their high, you're getting with their high, and they're lying to you. This is where the fake it till you make it notion that I brought up comes from, right? That's because you're faking like you're the best manager, but when the time comes, you're not really a good manager, and you bail and you just take the money and cut. Like I think David Pacman, right? Like he's not who you want to give your money or give your attention to because he's only telling you because it pays. If it didn't pay, he wouldn't be there. He's not in it for you. He's in it for the money. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You don't want that, right? Again, it's fine to be that way, but again, don't. It's kind of like what I say about red, white, and blue. There's an American flag. There's a red side and there's a blue side, and that's fine, right? But there's a reason why the stars are white. There's a reason why there is white in the flag. It's because that's where there is no red or no blue, or you could say there is all the red and all the blue because all the colors technically. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's no bias here, right? Look at this, clean slate, nothing. We're talking, that's what it is. But if you're blue, you're leaning left side, right? You're leaning blue, and like, oh, I feel this way, I feel that way, blah 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 blah, right? Blah blah blah, and you're talking, and this is the picture, right? Oh well, conservative comes up, right? Oh, and this, what the hell? Oh shit! I found out how to. That's cool. Oh, never mind. Damn. I guess that's just for that line. Okay, good to know. And so that's the battle basically. It's just they're trying to fight for power. This is what's going on now in America, right? It's red versus oops, red. Oops, shit. Where's the mouse? Red, blue, red, blue, right? And they're fighting about that's going on. This is why the whole notion we're divided and fall. Because while you're trying to actually fucking mouse, while you're actually trying to build an empire, if you're divided, you're down here like oh impact or war, blah blah. That's why they divide, right? But like in League of Legends, if you're a team, you're gonna do this. This is why in America, especially right now, the government, there's people that are trying to divide. The immigrants are bad, blah blah blah. It's because they don't want you to rise. They want you to go up, and then oh, the immigrants took your money. When in reality, they took your money, and they're blaming the immigrants. That's what's going on. And then you're too busy talking to them or chasing the immigrants to see the rich people run off with your money. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what's going on. So the thing that was profound to me that I realized was that's basically what life is. Like make a decision and then live with it, right? Things have consequences, actions have consequences. For a while, America was good to the point where, like, you could do something and you might have a consequence, but it's okay. The safety net was decent. They're in the process of removing that safety net, healthcare and whatnot. It's on the way out because America had it too good and they're too tricked and they believe in bullshit and they think buying Trump coin is good and that this is good and blah blah blah. And you need to understand it. Yeah, it's good now, but once they have the power, once they have control, they'll turn on you. You're next. Watch that video. Don't be a sucker that I post at the end of all of my videos, right? There's a reason why I'm posting in all my videos is because don't be a sucker. Like literally, don't be a sucker. They will eventually turn on you. That's what they did in the Nazi era. That's what we learned. Learn from your mistakes. That's what that is. This is what's going on. And they want to remove schools because they want to make it harder for you to be a person, essentially, to step up and to stand up and to say whatever and blah blah blah, and to think and process information, right? They want that. That's exactly what they want. What the hell? Whoa! Don't save. Excellent. Okay. Anyways, so it's literally kind of like a PC, like yes or no. That's what it comes down to. Do you want to date or not? Like you make choices, right? This is why little girls they run into relationships with a guy, and they don't realize this guy is only who he is because he's hella high, or he's dressed up, or he's painted, or he's wearing makeup, or all his white hairs are black, and not because of he put this other shit to look like he's 20, but he's actually 40. This is what's going on in the world. Wake the fuck up. Learn, understand, like connect with the reality. Touch grass, as they say. Like you're so like the Hollywood has you. You're bought by all the illusions, and you're in the world. Yes, now, but one day they will turn around and you're fucked. Kind of like with those Trump voters. They loved Trump until they took half their land, and then they're like, I don't like Trump anymore because they took a. Like, are you that biased? Are you that basic, rather? You're that basic, or it's just a simple act of taking half your land. Suddenly you hate the guy. That was it. That was literally it. Like I can guarantee, if it came down to it, if Obama did that, like if Obama did that, it would be because there was like, oh, the world was about to end if we didn't take that land and do this to make this. And then there'd be a reason for it, right? There'd be a justifiable reason, not just because he said so, not because it's red or because about. It's because it makes sense, and you're like, okay, I understand that if you didn't do that, we wouldn't be a nation anymore, and you agree, and your mother agrees, and your son agrees because it's true. It's an alternative fact, like they used to say, and that shit only worked because you were actually dumb enough to fall for it once upon a time. That's why I should also put Paul Manafort came to mind, but I have a document. It's called The Downfall of America. I'm actually going to put Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort. I don't know how to spell. Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, John Kennedy, Jim Jordan, Pete Hegseth, R.K. Jr., Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Fox News, Judy Imperial, Marco Rubio, Judy Imperial. Oh shit, what the hell? Paul Manafort, Jubilee and owners, Netflix and owners, Ben Shapiro and friends, Paramount Global, BMN, Paramount Media, CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System. And their name changes because they're trying to avoid penalty and punishment, like Trump and his splints. If you remember that, that's what companies do. Like a company, like, oh, buy Trump coin. Oh, I hate what's it called Factory X, the people that sold Trump coin, and then they dipped, and then now they're called XY, and they, hey, we're selling an energy drink, buy an energy drink. Oh, we're not made. It's not made yet, but it's gonna be made soon. You know, okay, I like that idea. And so you can put all this money into it, and then they're gone. And that's what they do. That's what's going on. That's what you wake up to. Like realize, look before you leap, right? And that's why the red fell, because you were like, oh, well, I'm a man, and I do think I'm a man. Oh, it's not manly to do. They used to do that all the time. Remember that one fucking dude that used to argue with people like Destiny and shit, or is like, are you a man? What makes you a man? Like, why are your standards through that guy? He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a dumbass. He's an idiot. You look for the eagles, not the bulldogs. Eagles, thinkers, logic, reasoning. Why are you following a bulldog? Because you're a fucking idiot. You're a monkey jumping the trees and throwing shit at one another. And you want the world to be devastated because you can't rise. Because you wasted all of your time being a loser. Now you're mad. You want the world to suffer. That's what's going on. And the point of bringing these people up is because once upon a time back in the day when they were taking over the right initially, they were up in front because you guys were stupid and they actually felt empowered. Like, hell yeah, I'm the man. Because you're giving him all this stuff and you wanted basically a deity, right? You're programmed for this shit. Religion, the army, it made you look to for a deity or for a commander, and you're just following orders. It made you a soldier, right? But America wasn't that before. It used to be a small part of America. But now that was the whole fucking red side. That was the whole conservative movement. But what happened was they hit the blue side. And the blue side wasn't like that. That's what all those people suddenly they're up in front, and then when people started throwing rocks and shooting arrows and pointing lasers, and then they got scared, and suddenly now they disappeared into the shadows again. Why do you think that is? It's because what they were doing was wrong and illegal and not right. That's what's going on. And what you're seeing now, those people I mentioned, and then there's people now like what's her name? I said her name already, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is up front because she's an idiot, but someone's behind her telling her to do stuff. Like I remember I was playing Grand Theft Auto, and I was driving on a jet ski, and I was just going through the waves, driving right, and I was going out into the ocean. It was getting deep, and it was getting really crazy. The water was getting intense, and then I hit the wall, right? And there's an invisible wall. But the thing was, you're still driving, right? But you weren't going anywhere. But you still were driving. And so my friend was like, "You should keep going. I think you're still going." But he was just playing around, and all the time, like I just came from a Destiny, his chat room. I was in his chat room, and I was listening to them think, and they kept using this influence, or they're wrong, and then they pretend, oh, I know, I'm just saying it just because, and they get away with it. And his whole room is basically a Trump like battle. That's where, like, if Trump wanted soldiers, that's where they would go to find them, because all of the mods there would be perfect for Trump's army, because they're all full of themselves and they think everyone's dumb. And they, honestly, on the right, they would do well because the people are dumb, right? Not so much that they're stupid, because they're ignorant. They're like kids. They're naive. They believe that, oh, he's a general, so you gotta listen. And then it's like, yeah, but I'm not in the army. I don't listen to generals. Fuck you, general. And that's what the blue was. That's what the left was. When they showed up and like, dun, 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 I'm in charge here. And then the left's like, who said? And like, oh, well, I just want to, take that land. Oh, no, that's my land. I'm not gonna, like, I'll admit, at first, the blue was like, okay, sure, if you're in charge, sure. Because I will say, what's it called? They didn't have the same authoritarian system, but they still had that army quality, right? They still listened to power because they had bosses and they were factory workers, right? They were like Germany was once upon a time, right? They were factory workers, and they had someone to listen to. They were just following orders. What happened is they kept coming, and people started to realize and wake up like, why are you taking what's going on? What's going on? And that's where the term woke came from, as they realized that these people who are playing the game aren't actually playing the game, right? It's they're pretending to be something that they aren't, basically, and that's what it is. That's the problem in the in the world today. That's the problem in the world today, right? Is people listen to these other. That's why all these names I listed, why they went to the shadows now, because once upon a time you're like, hail Satan, hail Satan, like that, like DBZ abridged, hail Satan, hail, and there's a character named um, the wrestler, the fighter named Satan. Like that's his name, like Satan, like not for any reason, but his name's Satan. and so they say "Hail Satan" like a joke, right? And because Christianity, blah, but people get it, and it's funny and blah. But the point is that that's how these people were acting. And then when they got to the side where they didn't have that same value system, and that money that I told you how money actually doesn't exist, and it's a property we created, and we give it that kind of value, it doesn't actually mean anything. Like $100 doesn't mean anything in the middle of a forest. You know what I'm saying? If you need it, you will take it and burn it for fire to start a fire if you need to. You will use it to stay alive because that's more important. It should be. If you die for $100, you deserve to die for $100 because, like I said, life will find a way. Let the stupid die. That's why there's this joke where they like remove all the safety labels from everything because this is ridiculous. That's what happened. As the world got too safe, it was too baby proof, and now the right is like remove the floor from under everybody, so that all the stupid people die. But the reason why they want that is because they are in power now, they are in control now, and so normally, if they removed the floor, they would fall and die too. But now they have a system under them that can't be taken. So they're like, take it from everybody else because fuck them people. Fuck them. That's what they're doing. That's what, and they set us against one another for that same reason. That's why they're like showing us gang violence and they're showing us gangs and stuff because they wanted us divided. They don't want us to grow. That's what ruined my life. Is because everyone fell for that stupid shit. And instead of me rising to power, I had to deal with fucking fakers and liars and manipulators and cheaters and exploiters. And they went and then they used their trickery on the ignorant. The ignorant believes in the bullshit, and then I dealt with the bullshit. But I was an honest person. So it's like, why does no one like me? It turns out it's because that fool was fucking filling that person's head with bullshit. So they don't like me because of bullshit. Right? But in reality, if they actually got to know me, they would fucking love me. But because of the bullshit they've been fed, that's how the world works. That's what the Trump era is. That's what's going on in the world. That's the secret. Right? But again, it comes down to should you or should you not? And the all that we need is what's it called? There has to be someone to slap somebody. That's it. Like some balls. We need a man. That's all we need. Right? And it sucks because I have what's it called? I had brain surgery and I had a stroke. I had a brain tumor, right? And that's why I have double vision. I have glasses. That's why I can't walk. That's why my right arm fucking feels like it's fucking numb. That's why I do that coughing and shit, right? That's because I choke on my own spit all the time. I can't eat. I have to be careful of what I eat. And when I drink, I have to be careful when I drink and all that shit. Because of this bullshit. And people forget. They talk to me and they look at me like, you seem like a really outstanding person. I know, but it sucks. I'm carrying myself so fucking well that people forget that I'm disabled. Like, literally all the fucking time. That's literally my problem. Like I said, honesty and honorable to a fault. Literally to a fault. And the problem is the rest of the world is fucking stupid. They believe like, hey, he's pounding his chest, he must be the strongest. No, it's just that he knows that everyone else knows better, and he is not doing it, or he knows that everyone else knows better, so he does it because he knows no one else will engage him. And it's not because he's actually stronger; it's because no one else is trying, and that's what happened. But eventually, they put the right pushed too hard, and eventually they pushed to the point where people actually did care, and then those people stood up, and then more people stood, and then it started to rise, and then people started to awake, and that's why the names that I listed, that's why all those people went into the shadows, and that's why they call it the shadow state, the shadow government. And you're too busy looking on the left for it. You're still talking about Trump or what's called Biden and Obama in his tan suit and the laptop and fucking Hillary and her emails and shit. And I say one thing about Trump, you're like, what? Huh? Epstein? Huh? What? Huh? And you're still talking about Trump and Obama in the fucking tan suit. You still know about Hillary and her files and shit, but you ain't talking about the Epstein thing. What the like? That's what it comes down to, is you're believing the bullshit. And they dictate what is. That's why I said the game's rigged. Like right now, the game really is rigged. They control the systems, right? That's why advertisers rule the world right now. It's 'cause that's where the money is, and people are bought, and that's why sellouts. So I fade to make it is a problem. That's why I say what I say. Anyways, so yeah, I hope my explanation is good enough for you guys to understand. If not, let me know, because literally this is something you should know. So, anyways, that's it. Be well, be safe. Like I said, they're all disappearing to the shadows because they know they're evil, and the names you have now are just fall people. Like Trump is just a fall guy. He's just there to take the hit. That's all it is. And the reason why is like, what is it? What is his name? I forgot. Paul Ryan. Yeah, Paul Ryan is the first guy on my list. Um, because he went to Fox News, became a chairperson, and so he used to be in the government, and he was like the first up front. He would be the dictator now because he is a capital example of using people and lying to people and manipulating people. And you think, oh, because he has a square chin and because he has blue eyes, I can trust this guy. And he's using that for evil, and he's fucking your daughters and your kids, and he's taking advantage of people, and he's probably a participant in human trafficking and whatnot. And that's what's going on, right? And Steve Bannon and Jeff Sessions and Lindsey Graham, and people love these people, and I don't blame you. I would love them too, but the problem is they have a dark side that you're not looking for because you're too busy focusing on Obama and his tan suit still. A fucking idiot chimp that you are. Wake up, become woke. Like, don't listen to the what's it called. And that's one thing. The last thing I'll say before I go. Um, basically, when what was his name? AOC showed up. That's when Marjorie Taylor Greene showed up, because the left had it. So we need someone to lie to our people that can do what AOC is doing. AOC is a big hitter on the left. Well, it seems like a good idea, so we'll take it. And then that's where Marjorie Taylor Greene came from. They artificially rose that. The squad, remember them? They showed up. So what did the right do? They made the five, right? They did it to combat the left. That's what happened. They artificially, and they're paying for influence. Like all your attention goes to these people because they're guiding you that way. And they're guiding you away from people like Bernie Sanders, just like they guide you away from people like me. But you can connect me and you can connect Bernie Sanders if you share and follow and like and sub and all that shit, because that's what green grassroots are, right? Like you should go up to your friend and be like, hey, I met this. I was watching YouTube and there's this one dude, Ninja on a Ninja, and I was watching his stuff and he was making sense. You should check him out and just talk to him, ask him stuff, and because it's not gonna. And one day, God be good. I may have too much attention, or you can't talk to me anymore, or it's hard for you to get to me. That's what's going on now. Like, there's a lot of people I want to talk to, I can't, and they're intentionally trying to disrupt the network to make it to where we're disconnected. But on the right, if I said I liked Trump and I wanted to vouch for him, I guarantee I would have, I'd be just like Tim Pool. I'd have a meeting with him the next day. That's how it works. But on the left, I can't get a word edgewise to Bernie or Obama or blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's how it works. That's how it works. And it's intentional. They control the system. They control the network. It's rigged. They control the system. They control the network. It's rigged, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? It's rigged. Like, I play League of Legends. I watch pro games. I'm like, cool. I'm like, why am I going against these people that are pro? Like, why is it that I'm like, I'm Iron 2. Why am I going against somebody that is like platinum or diamond? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm Iron 2. How am I supposed to climb when it's like 1v1, I'm beating this guy. But if he gets 10 kills because bot wants to fucking feed like a bitch, I suddenly can't take this guy. And that's what I'm up against. Like, how am I supposed to fight this guy who has a bigger economy than me? The game's rigged. I can't climb. And everyone wants to, oh, you just bronze, you don't matter. You don't matter. That's why I won't climb. It's because then suddenly people are, oh, well, he's challenger, so I can't say anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I know I could rise because I was the best at Smash. I was the best PlayStation All Stars #1 in PlayStation All Stars in America, and that's North and South. Um, a lot of games: Warcraft, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Warcraft 1, 2, and I think there's a 3. I forget. I think it's Warcraft 3. Um, Sims, all those games, I played all of them. I mastered all of them. I got really fucking good. That's what I do is I learn something to the point where like I know it enough, or like I have answered all my questions. I have no more questions right now, and then I stop, and then I go find something else, and I just learn the shit out of it until I'm happy, until I'm content. That's how it works, and that's why I'm fucking dissatisfied with the league, because I know I'm way better than where I am, but I'm dealing with bullshit because of bullshit reasons. Anyways, and if you're a player and you want to help carry me to the top, let me know. Like, listen, like, hey, one day I will make it. One day people will listen. I may be fucking 60 by the time you guys fucking wake up. We may be California, maybe the last state to hold against this Trump authoritarianistic movement. And Trump is a Trojan horse, by the way. He's not the actual problem. He's the guy that the problem is whispering to, and then becomes a problem for everybody else. Because Trump's just a Trojan horse. It is no one would elect Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham. They wouldn't win. Trump would. Trump did. And they needed him. That's why they're looking for somebody else. Who else could we use? Because they know they couldn't win. So that's where the shadow step comes from. The shadow state, rather. But you guys want to talk about Obama's can't suit, and I'm fucking realizing this bullshit I'm telling you. Anyways, be well and be happy, be safe. I'm out. God bless. Be strong. Be safe. Be loved. Praise Allah. Praise Heaven. Final Fantasy X God is the one I do for I don't fucking know why, but anyways, I'm out. So peace.